Check out my new online store if you want to buy prints, posters, shirts, and more. Hey guys, so today in this video, I'm doing another style swap video, and this time I'm going to be drawing Justin Herbert from the Los Angeles Chargers 4 different ways. So the first way here that I'm drawing is just, I guess you'd call it my style. It's just kind of a combination of, it's a comic book style with a little bit of cross-hatching, not too much, dark blacks for shading. And just kind of, and I kind of use some thick black lines. It's a way I think that allows color to be placed down and looks good with color. So that's what I'm using here. Of course, Justin Herbert is, the rookie quarterback for the Los Angeles Chargers that, he was a top 10 pick, but I think a lot of people didn't expect him to be as good as he was. So he kind of came out of nowhere and really lit up the league and did extremely well for a rookie this year. So if you're a Chargers fan, you're probably pretty excited about him. And I'm drawing him here in the Chargers new powder blue uniforms for this year. They just came out with these new uniforms this year, and I think they're pretty good. I had originally critiqued them earlier in the year when they were first announced, but the powder blue that they picked, it's not exactly the same baby blue that they had back in like the 70s or the 80s. It's kind of a different powder blue. It's more of it's not quite a royal blue, but it's closer to that type of blue. So I think it looks pretty good. And I definitely like the font that they use for the letters. I think that's a really sharp font there. So yeah, so let me know what you think about this drawing. So the next style that I'm drawing is more of a traditional comic book style. And by that I mean it's, if you're inking a comic book, you generally have a lot of black shadows, a lot of black shapes in the shadows. And so that's kind of what I was going for here. And this one's just black and white. And, but yeah, I'm just kind of going for more of a traditional comic book that you might see in like a literal comic book. So yeah, let me know what you think about this style. I try to do a lot of hatching and cross hatching for the shading because there is no colors. So, something different, something to try. But yeah, let me know what you think about this one. So for this third style, I'm doing cell shading, and I'm a huge fan of cell shading. I really like it a lot. Basically, cell shading is where there's no hatching or cross hatching. You kind of got, generally there's thick black outlines. And then for the colors, you normally have maybe 2 or at most 3 different tones for each color. So for instance, the jersey's blue, there's going to be a base layer that goes down, and then maybe 1 layer on top of that of a darker blue that you use for the shadows. But basically with cell shading, there's no blending. Like I said, there's no cross hatching, there's no blending of the colors. The colors are just very, there's a hard edge between the light and the dark, between the shadow and the base layer. And it's mainly comes from old video games, back in the day when computers had very limited colors that they could use. And but I think it's a really cool style. I really like it a lot. I kind of like the limitations that it provides, and I just think it's a cool style. I've always liked it ever since Marvel vs. Capcom, which was an old video game back in like the late 90s, early 2000s. And I always have been a big fan of cell shading ever since then. So let me know what you think about this drawing. I personally think this is probably my favorite of the 4 here. So yeah, but let me know what you think your favorite is. And then lastly, what I'm doing for this 4th one is a realistic style. And this is a style that I've been exploring lately. And it's definitely pretty difficult, but if you can pull it off, it looks really cool. It just is very time consuming. So yeah, let me know what you think about this one. I think this didn't turn out as well as maybe some of my other realistic drawing styles. I think one of the difficulties is I picked this white helmet that the Chargers have, and it's very difficult to do light tones with colored pencils because there's not that much variation, and if you just mess it up just a little bit, it just looks off. So maybe the next time I do a realistic style drawing, I'm going to pick a subject matter that's a little bit darker, maybe a football uniform that has darker colors. The blue jersey, that turned out pretty well. That's sort of a lot easier to draw, but something like the white helmet where all the gradations are very, very subtle, it's kind of a little bit more difficult to draw. But yeah, let me know what you think about how this one turned out. And yeah, let me know in the comments which style is your favorite. Like I said, I personally like the cell shading the most. I think that's my favorite, but if you had a different drawing that you like better, let me know. And hey, if there's another drawing style that you'd like me to draw, let me know in the comments. Or if there's a specific player you'd like me to draw, let me know there. I'm always looking for suggestions. And enjoy the rest of the video.